Hi guys, I know it says I'm live and it's popping up with other stuff. How is everyone? I'm here. I'm trying to get everything set up for you. I'm about 3 minutes early, which I was just on the phone with the bank, and that's just a whole other can of wax. The bank is absolutely, totally, unequivocally ridiculous. I still have my bank in Louisiana, and they have their online accounts, and then they have their in the office accounts. Well, I have some of both apparently, and there's random charges. I don't know what they are, so I'm trying to fix that, but I didn't get to fix it all. So that's okay. I will call after I get done hanging with you guys. So right now I am looking for my sites so that I can watch you guys and be able to comment to you. So just give me a minute for that. What we're going to do today is OnStages this weekend, and if you are a demonstrator, you know what OnStage is. If you are not a demonstrator, what OnStage is where a whole bunch of group of demonstrators get together and see what's going on with the actual home office with Stampin' Up! At the company. We get to see what's going on, what the new stuff is. We get to look at the new catalogs that are going to come out next year. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's not surprising and sometimes it's not fun, but you just never know. And well, this year we cannot do live because of COVID. So I wouldn't have gone to the live anyway because of COVID. So, okay, I've got it live on my cell phone as well, so I can see your comments. So I wouldn't have gone live because of the COVID virus, and I'm still on my lockdown. Friday, Saturday is my day to be free, and we're doing our live. So I would love to go hang out with some of my demonstrator friends and watch the live together, or watch which I've learned is recorded. Part of it's recorded, and watch that. But the COVID, I would be mortified if I, found out I gave somebody something. So anyway, that's why I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you what we get in our OnStage bags or boxes. We got boxes. They're called OnStage Home. And then I'm going to actually make you a sample with one of the items that we're going to be using during the OnStage. I went ahead and purchased it ahead. I wasn't going to because it kind of irked me that the gift that they gave us was not the stamp set that we're using to do our make and takes. So I went ahead and bought it. Turns out it's not too bad of a stamp set. So I made a couple of cards, and I wanted to show you those. And we're actually going to make one so you can see it. And I've actually used some of the products that are already in the annual catalog so that you can see those. If you're here, let me know. Tell me hello so I can send out some goodies and say hi to everybody. So without further ado, it is 10:30. I'm going to flip you over. Oh, and I have my hot chocolate because it's still 40 degrees here and I'm cold. I forgot to turn the heater on in the she shed, so it's cold in here. So if I take a sip of cocoa, I apologize now. And Mom, if you're watching, happy anniversary. I didn't call you this morning because I had this to do first by the time I got done. So happy anniversary, Mom. I'll call you in a little while. All right, let me flip you over so you can see the OnStage box. All right, here's the OnStage box. This was the lovely box that I thought was not going to get here in time for me for OnStage. I was pretty disappointed. I'm actually going to move my microphone. So if you see it in a moment, it's okay. It will be fine. There we go. I'm going to move this though. Okay, we should be good now. There. And that's still good. Perfect. Okay, so I've got that all situated. This is the box. They've been having shipping issues, and I really was afraid that this was not going to get here. Finally, it showed up. It sat in Maryland, I think, for days and days. But it finally showed up. So I'm going to open it up. Here we go. In the box. I can't open it. Oops, see, I hit everything when I do it this way. But this is in the box, and it comes with this little sign from Sarah. This is our CEO. Yeah. Anyway, in it we have a gel pen, which this will be great to use in my brother's Scan and Cut because I've got a universal pen holder and it will hold anything. So it's just a cute little gel pen. There's no anything on it that says Stampin' Up, just the box. So gel pen, multiple colors, neon colors, kind of cool, kind of bright, kind of fun. And then they sent us this big bag. This big bag, and it's got pockets in the front. It's got a pocket in the back. Nice, bright, bold colors. This, I think, is Misty Moonlight, our Misty Moonlight color. Actually, it's a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, so pretty close. And then inside, well, we also have this. This is, I was hoping it was a mouse pad, but it's not a mouse pad, a pad to put underneath, like you get those cutting pads. I was hoping it was one of those, but it's not. It's just a couple of little stamping pads to do our card making on, and it's got measurements, which is nice, but you know, okay, fine. There's centimeters over here, and there's inches over here, and they'll fit on the Stamparatus if you cut them. So I'm going to move those out of the way, and I'm going to move the box out of the way. Of course, we have this lovely little lip on the Stampin' Up box. I don't understand what that's about, but sorry, that's Pepper. My dog won't leave me alone today, so he's in here with me. So anyway, inside the box, inside the bag, we've got some popsicles, bright, bold colors inside. And I'll pull it off the dust so I can pull out what we've got. We have notepads that they've sent us with the emblems on it. Just a lined notepad for me to take notes. When I'm watching videos and getting some ideas, I can jot down some notes for myself. This is another one that is just graph paper. Sketch out a design. Or if you're into bullet journaling, that would work too. My husband likes bullet journaling. This is another bullet journaling one that I could keep in my purse. So when I find those cute little ideas, I could jot those down. They sent us some little pins, which, you know, those are cute. I'll probably give them to my granddaughter. She won't care about the OnStage one, but she'll like the other two. And then they sent us some fun stickers. I guess you could put these in your journals, or I actually have a business binder that I use for monthly. I could put these in there. And then they did send us a stamp set, which is this. I have not done anything with this one yet. It's still completely unused, unsealed. I like some of the sentiments. I've got a few ideas in my head to use with it. It's really not one of my favorites, but you know, everybody has their own ideas and opinions, so that's okay. So that's what's inside the bag. I'm going to put all this back in my bag so I know where it is, and move this out of the way. Okay, so what our card is today, I'm trying to find the card. We're going to use these supplies. This is one of the new bundles. It will come out in our January catalog. January mini catalog. It's called Dragonfly Garden. And then we have the Dragonfly Punch, which is 2 different punches. And it's really pretty, and it punches really well. Of course, I mean, if you've got one of the Stampin' Up punches, I'm sure you know all about that. But we're going to be using that today to make a card. And we've got DSP that goes with this. And here's our DSP. And you'll get 4 sheets of each kind. And I'm going to go through these with you so that you can see them. They're really pretty. They're using Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, I think those, and Misty Moonlight are the colors, and this is Coastal Cabana. Those are the colors they're using in this set of DSP. I think that's all of them. I love this one. We're going to use this one today. And I really like these. And in the blue, I used the blue one in one. It reminds me of dandelions. And well, I just like dandelions. And here it is with dandelions again. So I think that's all of the pattern that you can see. But you'll get 4 sheets of each. And they're really, really pretty. They're really bold. And the dragonflies, they do punch out. So you could take these, so you could punch one of these out if you wanted to. I mean, I can't get enough into it. See, there you go. You could punch this little dragonfly out just like that and be good. All right, so those are our DSPs that we're going to use. And let me get that out of the way. And another thing that goes with this little suite, which I haven't used on my card, but it's these little and I have a friend that is a ladybug freak. Her name is Sandy, and she likes these little ladybugs. See them? Cute. They're little cuter looking little ladybugs. They're adorable. I didn't use them on there because, you know, if I use these, I want them to totally stand out. And then it comes with Mossy Meadow. I haven't opened this up yet, but here we go. But it's a Mossy Meadow braided ribbon. You can see that. I'm trying to get it where you can see. There you go. So it's a braided ribbon for you. And it's a spool of that. And those are the things that are in this little suite that I ordered early for our OnStage event. So I've already started playing with it, you know, because, you know, I can't help myself. So here goes all of my samples. Of course. Here's what we're going to make today. This is the one we're going to do. Here's another sample of one I made. And I'm going to use like lots of Wink and Stella. You can see the Wink and Stella in my Dragonfly. But I did this one with the DSP, and I used my Dandelion Wishes stamp set with this, which I think works fabulously. There's also a Dandelion embossing folder that I think would have been just fabulous on this white, and maybe switch it all to white. I may have to do that, but I don't have the folder yet. So that's one of those things. This is the one we're going to do. And I've got to reach down and get my yellow Bumblebee ink pad, because they all fell down on me. Because I keep stuff on top of my Brother Scan and Cut right here in front of my desk, and so it all fell down. So I have most everything cut out for us for our card. The only thing I don't have is our card base, which is okay. I can get that really quick. So what we're going to do to start is I stamped and cut out my dragonfly, and I've used these. This is the not these, here they are. Wrong spot. I used the dies, the layering dies with the Ornate suite. This is what I used. I used this side. I used this one for my white sheet that you'll see, just this here. And then I used this one for my yellow here off. So when I trimmed all my edges off, it gave me these cute little pieces I can use on other projects. So that way I was assured that it was perfectly sized. There is a die that fits in here, but it's a little bit smaller than I wanted to use. I wanted it to actually fit perfectly in here. And the other die is a little bit smaller than that. So, and I wanted more of the stamped image on there. And then I just took a regular piece of, let's see, this is 5.5 by 4.25, and I have embossed it with the Subtles embossing folder. That way you can see it, and it's a little less time for us. But I've just embossed it. That's it. That's all I did to that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp and color. I'm going to move this one out of our way. I'm going to stamp on this one and color our lovely little flowers, which is going to be this stamp set right here. And I'm seeing that we've dropped once so far. I'm hoping everything stays good. We have our computers set up so that I'm primary right now. And all the kids have went back to school. Our COVID experience is pretty much over. The kids are good. And they went back to school today. I think they were supposed to go back yesterday, but it didn't happen. I don't know what happened over there, but it didn't happen. So And my husband brought me yesterday to go see some piglets. And my husband wanted to bring 2 baby mini potbelly pigs home. I would love nothing more. Most of you who know me well know I wanted pigs as a child, and I would still love to have pigs, just don't have the room for them. I'm stamping this in Memento ink on our piece of, this is one of the DSPs, and I'm going to stamp it on this one. And I'm just going to make sure I have that center flower in there when I stamp it. Now you could stamp this on the Stamparatus, whichever one you wanted, to make sure that you got what you wanted. And see, like this, to me, this is a little light here, but that's okay because my my dragonfly will cover that up and you won't even notice it. But I think I need to scrub the ink, or scrub the stamp. It's brand new, it's only been used twice, so sometimes it leaves a little residue on them and then you have to take it off. And I have not done that yet. I've cleaned them, but it didn't take it off. So now we're gonna put some color on these little flowers. Now what I'm using is my aqua painter. You can use the new ones that we have. I'm just using the old one right now because I don't have the new ones yet. And we're using Mossy Meadow and Bumblebee. So we've got these 2 inks. And I have got some sisal stuck on there. All right, so we're going to use both of these colors. And we're just using very minimal. You don't want a lot of water, so I'm going to check, make sure my water is clean. And I'm literally just going to take a little yellow, and I'm going to come in from the top and just streak right out. I'm not putting a lot of water, just little bits of color. You could do this with alcohol as well if you wanted this to make sure it dried really quick. And that's why I've used Memento, so I could use either or. Some people use Stella, which I will show you how to use the Stella and the ink pads with Dragonfly. And I'm just making sure I color in my flowers. I'm only doing the little flowers in the yellow, and this is Bumblebee yellow. It's one of our new in colors. And I think that's all of my, oh, the little flower right here. Okay, that's all of those. I'm going to clean off my ink from my yellow. Okay. And now I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow, make sure my brush is clean, and take just a little bit of this. And I'm literally just going to streak in here a little color from the base. And then I will come back and color in later. And I'm just coloring all of these leaves in here. And as it dries, it will lighten up. And you don't have to color all the leaves. It's not necessary. But I like my leaves to be colored in. Here we go. And then I also color in the little nibs of these. I guess these are like, I know what we call them in the South, but I don't want to call them that because it's not their name. They look like daisies, but I don't know what they're real. Shasta daisies, maybe. But, you know, you could just color in whatever you feel you need color with this, because we've got a little color in the background, and I'm just kind of going over some of these stems with this very light color of green that I've got going on. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to brush this off, and I'm going to be done with the watercoloring. Close that up. We'll be using that again with the Stella. Okay, so there's your pretty little colored flower, and it pops so much more once you add just a touch more color. And I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. I don't even need for it to dry. Got my dimensionals here. I'm only going to use 2. I mean, you could use 3. That's up to you. I'm going to put 2 of these on, so as I can get it off. There we go. And I'm literally going to stick this right here in the center of this. And I could have probably put it over a little more. But there you go. There's your top part of your sentiment. And this one will go just lay on top of here. Now, I did not emboss this one. In this one, I have embossed it in the Ornate Garden Suite embossing folder, in which I will do that. Go ahead and emboss that. I'm going to move all my stuff. So it is this one that we're going to emboss it with. And that just gives it a little more texture, and it makes that white have a little more interest to it. You could add color, some Mossy Meadow or whatever you wanted to that would look really nice. And this is the Subtles embossing folder if you don't have it. It is definitely one. I love that embossing folder. Let's see, I think I just need this one. I'm going to get all my plates here situated. And since I have not bought the new embossing machine, I never know what I need. All right, there we go. And voila, we've got this beautiful piece of just plain whisper white with some texture and some interest to it. I think it turns out beautiful. All right, so now we're just literally going to glue this down on top of there. Finally got me some glue, y'all. I was so happy to get glue. Tumbo glue. I think it's turned out to be my favorite. It doesn't give me so much trouble sticking and adhering and clogging and all that stuff. So I tend to use it a lot more. I went back to using my scrappy glue, but the tube clogs all the time. And I was having more trouble getting the glue out than I was anything else. And I love the glue. The glue's fabulous, but it never stuck. And that was not fun. Okay, so we've got this piece completely ready and designed. And we've already got this embossed. So this is just going to lay right on top. Let's go ahead and color our dragonfly. I've already stamped and punched our dragonfly out. When you punch out with this, you get this little extra guy. He is great. I'm going to go ahead and punch one of him out so that you can see what I would do with him. Just going to go in here and just punch him out because I've already got one punched. All right, so what I'm going to take is not Misty Moonlight. We're going to take the same colors. I'm going to take these, and I actually used a touch of coral to this. And I'm going to use my Wink of Stella. Now, if you have a Wink of Stella that is almost empty, save it. Put some alcohol back in it so you can get the rest of that glitter out of there. And if you can get it open. And you can use this, oops, you can get it open just like that. You can use this and use it just like I'm fixing to show you. You can do this two ways. See, mine is nice and juicy. You can either take your markers and you can rub it on your markers, but then that leaves a little glitter on your markers. Or you can do like I did with the water and use your ink from here. So I'm actually going to use, and we've reconnected. So, coneflower. Hey, Sherry, I just saw your notes. How are ya? Yes, coneflower, good name. Although coneflowers, I think, are beautiful in blue. So I'm taking my Wink of Stella and I'm putting it in the Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to color my little stem of my dragonfly. And then with what's left over, I can color the stem of this dragonfly. Just so I get him all cleaned up. It doesn't matter what you get all over him. And I'm going to cover this up because I don't want any green in my wings. And I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm also going to use a little bit of Calypso coral. I had to think of the color. So I'm just going to take a little of this yellow with this Wink of Stella, and I'm going to come from the center and just blend it out so that it's almost empty. There's no color left. And I'm going to do this for all of my wings. Just blend it out. See, I've got a lot of wink on there. And I think it gives it a shimmery look, like a real dragonfly. This is what I did for my Misty Moonlight dragonfly that you saw in the beginning. So there, I've got that all done, and I'm going to take just a hair more so I can put some on my wings in this little teeny tiny guy. With this little teeny tiny guy, I'm going to put him on the inside. There we go. He's a little bit colored. He's good. Now I have yellow all over my fingers, of course. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow, my Calypso coral, and I'm just going to add some lines of color. Not any specific place in general, just to give some touches of other color. Because you know, dragonflies, some of them are multicolored and they look so cool. Now you gotta make sure it's not wet still when you do this. It usually dries pretty quickly because you don't want glitter all over your marker here. See, this one's not really getting, there we go. All right, and if it pulls up some of your color, you can wipe off the color by coloring off on your pen. And you could add some more Wink of Stella to your project here if you'd like. So there you go. He's nice and colored, and he's pretty. I like him. I think he's cute. Yes, I love the Wink of Stella. I actually told my husband, I said, I need more Wink of Stella. I can't find mine. I was using white, and it really, on this one, it really blended out the white. See how it blended out my colors just faintly? They're there. I didn't like that. So look at the difference of the two dragonflies. I mean, the color is totally different. Let's see, we'll put it right there where you can see it. So this is the one with the white Wink of Stella, and this is not. The one on top is not. Okay, so now that we've got everything done, I'm going to go get my card base that we can stick this on. Okay, sorry about that. I usually have everything ready, and I usually have a bunch of my card bases made. I have now started using all Whisper White cardstock bases, and I had yellow on my fingers, so now it's on my card base, which is fine. It'll be covered up. And I'm looking for my bone folder. I know it's here. I just had it a minute ago. Ah, here it is. Okay, so then we're just going to sit here, and we're going to bone fold this down, and I'm going to layer these on here. And we'll put our dragonfly on after. Don't you love the Wink of Stella, Sherry? I love it. I think it's great. It's a simple way. Save your old winks. It'll be great and useful, and you can use it as a extra paintbrush when you need one. And maybe if you forgot your paintbrush when you're going to a crop or you're going to someone's house and you have an old Wink of Stella, there you go. All right, now this is just a standard cardstock base. It's 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5, and I've just put down my white embossed in the subtles. It's embossed. You could rub some color on it if you want to, but I'm just leaving it plain today. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this second piece as well, not even popping this up. And we're just going to stick this on here, kind of off center. And then I'm going to put this on. I need a dimensional on at least half of my dragonfly. He's going to go like right there, kind of covering up those. We could put him in the middle. I kind of like him off a little bit. So I'm going to put a drop of glue right here. Just a tiny drop of glue. Take my dimensional off, and I'm going to pop him down right here. So that helps cover up that spot that didn't take too much ink when I was putting him down. So that's the card. Now with this one, I did a sentiment for a true friend. What I used for that was, I'm not going to make one, I'm going to show you. Here we are. I used my rectangle dies. And I used my thinnest. I stamped my image and I cut it out with this. And then I shortened it and recut it out again with this to make it however big I needed it. I guess we could go ahead and do one. Let me see, I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. And let's see, what other sentiments do we have in this set? You're an inspiration. Let's go with you're an inspiration. Or thank you for your kindness. I'm going to go with you're an inspiration. And I don't know if you can see inside here. See how shiny these stamps are? That's the covering that they put on them to protect them. And it hasn't all come off. And this is the first stamp set I've gotten that have had that thick coating on there. And I'm literally, you could stamp this in Mossy Meadow, basic black. I'm going to go with the Memento again. We'll just stamp this up. And here's my Memento ink. See, it just doesn't look like it wants to. Okay, it's there. Just takes me a minute. All right, I'm going to stamp it again, see how we look. Okay, that's better. I'm hoping, will that fit in there? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna, so we're gonna try it. We're just gonna put this right here in the middle. Okay. And we're gonna go cut this out. Get my metal plate, a magnetic plate, and we'll cut this out and see what we get. All right, take this out. I'm going to just place this on here, just like this, and then I'll come back in and trim it. Okay, as you can see, it's going to pull right out. And what you do with this, I know most of you probably already know this. Thank you, Sherry. I do like this card. I think it came out well. Okay, so now that you've got this like this, I kind of want to shrink this a little bit. So I'm just going to lay this back in here so that it kind of lays in those stitched pieces. And then I'm going to send it right back through. A little longer. Right there. There we go. That way, your stitched design is all the way around on your card and your sentiment. All right, that will just pop right off. And there we have it. There's your sentiment. And I have glue all over my fingers. And so we could just pop that right there. Matter of fact, that's probably what I'll do. Get me a little tiny dimensional on one side and a little glue on the other. Glue over here. Should be good. I'm just going to lay this right there. And there you have it. There's your card. Nice and pretty, simple, not very fancy, not, you know, I think it's fancy, but, and then you could take your little colored dragonfly and stick him on the inside as a little decoration for the inside. And just have him floating around. There you go. And that's it. That's this card, and I hope you loved it. I love this one. I also, let me see, I don't know if you got to see the other one. Here's the other one I did. This is done in the Misty Moonlight using the same DSP. And here I've added the Dandelion Wishes from one of our annual catalog stamps. And we have it in the annual catalog, Dandelion Wishes embossing folder, which if I do this one again, I will take all of this in the background and I will make it all white. And I will put the Dandelion Wishes embossing folder on it. I think it's fabulous. But doesn't this little dragonfly look like the bomb in this Misty Moonlight? I just think he's beautiful. He's stunning to me. I really, really like him. He would look pretty with a little green in there too. But I wanted to stick with the kind of the 2 shades of colors in this, and I just thought he looked beautiful. So there's my 3 cards for you out of this one new set. This set will not be available until January. I'll have a pre-order in December that I'll get some new things and find them for you so that you can get a chance to sneak peek, get an idea of what you might want out of the new catalog. If you want to place an order this month, this is my hostess code, GHRWKT6Q. There is also a link on my website which will also add the hostess code for you. So if you want to add everything to your cart, you're welcome to, but you can't order these particular items until the new catalog in January. Unless you want to become a demonstrator, then after December 1st, you'll be able to order them. These were only things we were able to pre-order for OnStage. If you weren't in OnStage, you couldn't order them. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I can't wait to see you again next week. And I will have some more juicy details next week. Maybe I'll even try to use the other new the new catalog item that they gave us in the moment for you next week. If you have anything you'd like to see, let me know, and I will be sending out one of these cards to one of you lucky winners. I will hold it out to the end of the week, so by the end of the week, I will send out a card. So again, leave me a comment, say hi, and I'm so glad you stopped by. Have a great one. Bye, y'all.